Hi and welcome to the fourth part of the LawMaker tutorial. Today I'd like to fix a couple of texture errors and also put a window on our building. Now if you've looked closely already, I've actually made some changes before I started the video. And first of which being the ceiling texture and sound. So I've set it to sound like a rock. And I've also went and made the ambient lighting on the interior just a little bit darker. I set it to 15 because it is an interior after all, and it would be darker than it would be in an outdoors area. The final thing I changed was the walls and ceilings of the doorways just to give it a wooden texture. Now I've already shown you how to do this sort of texturing, so I'm going to let you figure this out by yourself. If you're following me in building this map right now, you might want to pause this video and go and do those changes. If you have any trouble, go back to one of the first few videos where I go through texturing walls and ceilings and floors. Now there was one thing I noticed when I was going around and testing the map before, and that was this error. Now if you look, this wall is really warped out of place and it just doesn't look right at all, and that should not be there. And you can only see it like that on certain angles. Now the reason this happens is because we actually made an error when we were doing our adjoins before. As you know, the inside of the doorway has a wall that we can't see right now. And that is adjoined to the exterior wall that is here. Now, when we made the roof, we had to split up the vertexes here and here because the door was on the other side. And then we made that adjoin. Now the problem here is, because there is two adjoins on this wall, it's getting confused. And I don't really expect you to understand exactly why that happens. It is just a game engine bug, but I will show you how to fix that. So just jumping back into LawMaker, this is the wall that's causing our problem right now. And if we jump up to layer 2, you'll see the roof also has this wall is facing in that way. And that is adjoined to the exterior wall, which is also adjoined to the inside of the door. Now what we need to do to fix this bug is remove the adjoins and then reapply them. To remove the adjoin, hold down Alt and then press the A key. And you'll see it said 2 adjoins removed down there. And then simply just hit the A key again and you'll see 2 adjoins are made. And it made the 2 adjoins at the same time, so we know that's been done correctly. So if we save the map now and go in, that is looking better. That texture is still off center, and I'll just show you a quick way we can also fix that. Now, what we need to change here is what we call the texture offset on the Y-axis. And what we'll need to know to do that is the ceiling height of the doorway and the floor height of the outside of the house. So what I'll do, I'll just bring up a notepad just to note that down. So let's go into sector mode, select the inside of the doorway, and as you probably remember, the ceiling Y is 10. Note that down there. And then select the exterior, hit tab, and I've actually set this to 0 or minus 0.25. We did set it to -1 in the last video, but I decided to go in and change that as well. Let's note down negative 0.25. And what's the difference between these two is 10.25. Now let's go back into our wall mode and let me try and explain something. So we have middle texture, top texture, and bottom texture. In this instance, this will be the middle texture, this will be the bottom texture, and this visible wall here will be the top texture. So now we need to set this offset Y 10.25. Now it will bring it down that amount. So let's hit tick, save and test, and see what we have. Perfect. Now this is much easier to do if you have the old edit tool. Now we'll put a link to that and explain how to use it in a later tutorial, but I thought I'd just sort of get your head around that part of LawMaker. But now what I want to do is create some windows for this map, because all we really have right now is a front door to this house. First part to know about making windows is that it is quite a lot like making doors. There's just some small differences. So I think I'll put one here. So hit insert button twice to split up that wall. And then we'll zoom in here. Turn on the grid system and bring it down a little bit. Now I feel like this should be roughly the same size as this door here. So I'm going to make it 3 units apart. Then what we need to do, go into the wall mode and extrude that. So hit the E key and create that extrusion. Bring the grid down a little bit. And just make that wall line up here. Now what we also need to do is the same thing for the outside wall and the roof wall as well. So what I'll do, I'll select the outside wall and I'll remove the adjoin by pressing Alt-A. That way we don't get any interference with the roof so far. Then with that exterior wall still selected, we'll hit the Insert key twice to create 2 more walls. Then, with these new vertices we create, we line that up. And then once again, we go to the roof on layer 2, select this wall, hit Insert twice again, and then line those vertices up. Now let's go back down to layer 1. Then we can adjoin these walls again to the roof. Then you should be able to make a double adjoin with this wall as the window. So if we save and open the map now, this is what we have, which is a good size for a window. But we still need to change the ceiling and the floor properties. Let's go back into sector mode, select that window, hit the tab key, and we'll make the floor 4 units off the ground. And we'll make the ceiling 12 units. Now this makes our window 8 units high. Let's hit commit, save, and test. I think that looks pretty good. Now in order to make this a glass window that we can shoot through, we need to change some more properties. To do that, we go back into wall mode, and then select this wall, hit spacebar to multi-select it, and select this wall as well on the inside of the window. With these 2 selected, hit the tab key, and then we'll go into a middle texture. Now because these textures are animated, you actually don't get a preview here, which sort of sucks. So you kind of got to guess which window you want. I'm going to go with GW032win.atx. Now, to make it break like a window, we also need to put some flags in there. So let's go down to flags, double click on that. Now, because the texture will be visible from both sides, we need to make it an adjoining mid texture. Let's tick that. It will be a tinted texture as well, so let's tick that one. And we want the window to shatter when we shoot at it, so let's tick that. And a projectile can pass through it, so let's tick that one. Let's hit OK, test, and see what we have. Now it looks like we have some texture problems here. And I'll go in and fix that in a sec, but I want you to see that if we shoot this window now, it will shutter. Let's try and jump through it. Perfect. So I've just done some playing around and I've realized that this texture problem is not actually fixable. The reason for this is because there are too many walls on the outside of this house. We have a top texture, a middle texture, and a bottom texture down here, but there's nothing here. And we can't fill that in. It has to take it from somewhere up here. The only workaround we can do here is to put this over on this wall instead, by multi-selecting these 2 walls and doing those same things again. So hit tab, change the middle texture. I'll put that back to the same one. Then we'll go down to flags, do a joining mid texture, tinting, shatter, and projectile can pass. Hit OK, save, and let's see what we have. Okay, that looks better, but the outside wall is still messed up, so let me just go and fix that. And to do that, I'll just multi-select these two, hit tab, remove those flags, and we should be okay. And we're looking good. Broken on both sides, perfect. Now I just need to fix that one up, so I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll just multi-select this outside wall, select one of the other ones, and then just hit enter on these three textures. Save, test. Beautiful. So that is our first window. Now there's still some texture issues that you can fix up here, and I'm pretty sure you should know how to do that by now, given what we've already went through. So I'll get you to go ahead and try and do that, but for now I'll leave it at this. If there's any questions, as usual, just feel free to comment in this video. I'll try and answer them. And let me know if there's anything in particular you want to learn. For now, peace out.